Welcome back to the cryptowrld channel, everyone. My name is Josh, and right now Bitcoin is bouncing from this very important area of support in the shorter term as we have some massive new updates on the Bybit hack situation. So I'll be talking about that in just a moment alongside Ethereum, which is now running into this key line of resistance, forming a new price pattern that we need to pay attention to, while the price of XRP is still struggling around this major area of resistance. So I'll be talking about all of that and more later in the video. So definitely watch to the end. First of all, just before taking a look at the Bitcoin charts today, we need to talk about the Bitcoin and crypto news today because we do have some new updates with the Bybit hack situation. And if you're new to all of this, if you missed my last video, check out my last video first of all to get you up to speed on basically what happened with the Bybit hack. But basically, since my last video just yesterday, over the last one day, Bybit has indeed covered those lost funds, as we can see right here through on-chain analysis. Basically, there was roughly $4 billion US dollars that actually flowed into Bybit over the last one day. And so obviously there were significant withdrawals. A lot of people obviously withdrew after that Bybit hack just yesterday. But since then, once again, Bybit has basically put a lot more money onto the exchange to actually basically process all of the withdrawals. And we can see here the CEO of Bybit has indeed said that all withdrawals are actually processed. Basically all of the pending withdrawals just yesterday, they have now fully been processed and everything is back to normal. And if you've been around in crypto for some time, for maybe a few years, and you have any idea of the trading volumes on some of these big exchanges like Bybit, for example, it will become clear that big exchanges like Bybit can easily cover, let's just say, a $1.5 billion loss, because exchanges like this have many times that amount that they actually make in revenue in trading fees. So keep in mind, these massive exchanges, obviously 1.5 billion is a significant amount of money, but to some of these exchanges, basically it can easily be covered. And when it comes to the identity of the Bybit hacker, as of right now, the leading on-chain analysis is pointing towards the Lazarus group, as we could see here by independent on-chain analysts, like for example, Zach XBT, because obviously crypto is completely public and transparent. You can see all of these transactions at all times, and essentially Zach XBT and other analysts have basically linked this Bybit hack to other hacks that have happened in the past. And we can see that these funds on chain are linked to an entity known as the Lazarus group, a hacker group known as the Lazarus group. And if you don't know the Lazarus group, essentially it's a hacker group that is allegedly run by the government of North Korea. So basically the North Koreans essentially stole 1.5 or $1.4 billion worth of Ethereum mainly from Bybit. And as the Lazarus group attempts to try to cash out these funds into stablecoins, for example, essentially the stablecoin issuers like Tether, for example, can freeze stablecoins. In case you're new to all of this, yes, stablecoin issuers like Tether or Circle for USDC can freeze stablecoins at any time. Stablecoins are not decentralized. And so we can see here just a matter of hours ago, as of recording this video, the CEO of Tether did actually just announce that they froze around 181,000 USDT worth of Tether linked to the Bybit hack. Now, obviously 180k is nothing compared to 1.4 billion, but it is something, and it shows that if the hacker basically starts cashing out these funds into stablecoins, that's going to be a no-go. Those funds will just be frozen. And so that's basically the update on the situation, the Bybit hack situation. Overall, everyone is tracking these funds and where they're going right now. So basically these funds, it's very unlikely that these will just disappear into the wind. And as of right now, Bybit has indeed covered that loss and all withdrawals are currently working as normal. And with that being said, if we're taking a look at the Bitcoin price chart on the weekly time frame, we can see right now the price of Bitcoin is technically still within a bull market, basically forming higher lows and higher highs on the larger time frame. So not much has changed in that regard over the last few days. And if we're taking a look at this 4-day Bitcoin chart, the super trend indicator is still sitting in the green, indicating a larger bullish trend, also known as a bull market. And if we're taking a look at this weekly Bitcoin chart, obviously we still technically have the MACD indicator on the weekly time frame sitting in the red, basically showing a recent bearish cross, obviously, which is showing a small amount of bearish momentum, but not a lot of bearish momentum. So essentially a likely scenario over the next few weeks could honestly just be some more choppy sideways price action, basically not doing all that much. And if we're taking a look at this weekly Bitcoin chart, we still technically have a massive bearish divergence on the weekly time frame with higher highs in the price and lower highs in the RSI. So this is telling us that we're losing a lot of bullish momentum, and we've already lost a lot of bullish momentum, basically slowing down in the bull market. So all of these charts are basically telling us that we're still technically within a bull market. We've not yet confirmed the end of the bull market, but at least for the next few weeks, we're likely going to see a little bit more of a slowdown or a slight setback during the larger bull market here. And if we're zooming into the shorter term, looking at the 8-hour Bitcoin chart, as of recording this video, the price of Bitcoin is actually bouncing from this important area of support again. And in case you're new to the channel, this area of support is still sitting in between around 95,000 to 96,000. So like I've been saying for weeks now on the channel, expect a lot of support in that area, as we have seen many times over the last few weeks. But if we were to actually confirm a break below 95,000 with candle closes confirming below that level, in that case, the next important area of support to the downside is sitting in between around 92,000 to 93,000, and also 91k in particular is a critical level for the price of Bitcoin. But obviously just before 91k, once again, we have that area of support, and we are still finding support in between 95 to 96k, which is some good news here in the short term. But overall, the price of Bitcoin is still basically within a bit of a short-term sideways price range, as we can see, basically just bouncing around between support and resistance. And in case you're wondering, we do still have a lot of resistance at around 98,500 to 99,000. And if you were to finally see a confirmed breakout above 99,000 with candle closes above that level, in that case, we have more resistance in between 101,000 to 103,000 and significant resistance in between 106,000 to 107,000. But remember, as I've said throughout this video, and as I've already been saying for a long time now on the channel, at least in the somewhat shorter term, the price of Bitcoin is simply lacking momentum to either direction. So yes, we can see little bounces from support and rejections from resistance, but we're not seeing a lot of momentum. We're not really seeing significant moves in the price. We're basically just bouncing around sideways between support and resistance. And if you want to actually trade any of these moves in the price of Bitcoin or any other crypto, personally, I'm starting to take more trades over on 2bit. So I'll make sure to leave a link to 2bit below this video in the description and in the pinned comment. And if you use that link, it'll take you to this page right here where you can claim some massive bonuses that are only available using that link. So if you're going to be trading crypto anyway, you might as well check this out. So for example, if you'd simply just make an account, if you don't deposit anything, simply just making an account using that link, you get a $30 bonus onto your account simply for free, just by making an account using that link. And then of course, if you make a deposit, you can also get a 20% deposit rebate up to a max of 200 USDT. So extra bonuses here. And also for the larger traders out there, you can get a brand new Mercedes-Benz or 50,000 USD or Rolex or $6,000 holiday or gold bars, etc. simply just by trading crypto. And also, if you use the link below this video to 2bit, you are automatically upgraded to VIP level 1, which basically means you get a massive discount on trading fees over on 2bit. But once again, only if you use the link below this video to make your 2bit account. And also, in case you're wondering, 2bit is a no KYC exchange, which means you can access it from basically any country in the world without needing any KYC. But as always, check your local regulations when it comes to trading crypto. And also another option out there that I personally use is Bitfinex. So if you want another exchange other than 2bit or other than Bybit, there is also Bitfinex. So I'll make sure to leave a link to Bitfinex below this video in the description and in the pinned comment. And also, Bitfinex is a no KYC exchange where you can claim some massive rewards trading over on Bitfinex using the link below this video. But with that being said, taking a look at the Bitcoin liquidation heat map, and over the last couple of days, obviously we wiped out a bunch of liquidations, but for now we don't really have a lot of liquidity, at least in the immediate short term, that's close to the price of Bitcoin here. And so as of right now, we have a very small amount sitting at around 94,500 and a decent amount of liquidity at around 93,000 approximately. But a lot of the liquidity in the short term is mainly sitting at around 99.5k. So basically just underneath 100,000 and very close to 100,000, we have a decent amount of liquidity starting to build there. But with that being said, taking a look at Ethereum on the 3-day time frame, and right now the price of ETH on this chart is coming into contact again with this Fibonacci level, which was previous support and is currently acting as resistance, which is sitting at around 2.8k. So like I've already been saying for a while, 2.8k is an important level of resistance, at least in the short term, for the price of ETH. But if we can finally see a confirmed breakout above 2.8k with confirmation, so candle closes above 2.8k and actually holding above that level, in that case the next resistance I'll be watching is at around 3,000 to 3.1k. So we'll likely go above 3,000 again if we can first see a breakout above 2.8k actually confirm. But if we continue to find resistance around 2.8k, when it comes to support, obviously we still have a lot of support at just above 2,500 and also more support at 2.3k and in between 2150 to 2.2k. And if we're zooming into the shorter term for Ethereum here on the 4-hour time frame, we can see right now the price of ETH is indeed forming and starting to play out an ascending parallel channel. And so essentially, at least in the short term, as in talking about a matter of hours or days, the price of ETH is currently within a short-term bullish trend. So despite that bearish news that we saw just yesterday with the Bybit hack specifically involving Ethereum, obviously it didn't really have a major impact on the market, as we could see. And so for now, Ethereum is actually looking pretty okay. And as for support, we have this ascending line of support sitting at around 2630, so just above 2.6k acting as support, and this line of resistance is currently sitting at very close to 2.8k. So we have this ascending line of resistance at 2.8k and also this Fibonacci level at 2.8k. So for the bulls out there, 2,800 is definitely the level to break out above in order to start to finally flip much more bullish again, at least in the shorter term, expecting potentially a continued relief up towards 3,000. But obviously, while the price of ETH has not yet confirmed a breakout above 2.8k, there's still the possibility we could reject from that level. So just keep that in mind, at least for now. As of recording this video, the price of ETH is still currently within this ascending parallel channel. And if we're taking a look at the price of Solana on the 8-hour time frame, Solana is basically looking relatively neutral in terms of the trend and momentum in the immediate short term. Obviously, if we're looking at this larger trend that is playing out, clearly this is still a bearish trend forming lower highs and lower lows. But when we're talking about maybe just the next 1 day or 1 or 2 days, the price is basically just chopping around sideways between support and resistance as of right now. So first of all, we have this major area of support in between 156 to 161, and we also have more support at around 168. And as for resistance, we have a lot of resistance at around 178 to 183, so right around 180 approximately as significant resistance. And if we finally see a breakout back above that area of resistance, we should expect more resistance at 190 and also in between 200 to 205. But like I just said, at least in the short term, the price of Solana is simply just lacking momentum, very similar to Bitcoin, for example, in the short term, currently lacking momentum, bouncing around between support and resistance. And as I always say, usually the price of Solana, along with a lot of the major altcoins out there, follows similar price action to what Bitcoin and Ethereum are doing, for example. So if Bitcoin has a major bullish move or major bearish move, expect something similar, not the exact same, but something similar for a lot of the major altcoins, Solana included. And if we're taking a look at the price of XRP on the daily time frame, XRP is also bouncing around sideways between a bit of support here and of course this area of resistance. So for now, we still have a lot of resistance in between $2.65 to $2.80, and as for support, we have a decent amount of support at around $2.50, and below that we have significant support in between $2.25 to $2.30. And if we can finally see a confirmed breakout with candle closes above around $2.80, breaking out above this resistance, in that case, I would expect a continued relief up towards at least around $3, and then around $3 approximately would likely start finding resistance around there if we can first break out above this area of resistance, which obviously as of right now has not yet happened. We're still struggling around this area. And especially while Bitcoin is just bouncing around sideways in the short term, lacking momentum, we're basically seeing something very similar for XRP and a lot of the altcoins out there, especially the major altcoins out there, as I've been covering in this video. Basically, we're just bouncing around sideways, still struggling around resistance and lacking momentum to either direction. So we're not really overly bearish or overly bullish, at least here in the shorter term. And if we're taking a look at the price of Chainlink on the daily time frame, over the last one day, we did actually technically confirm a daily candle close just below, only just a few cents below this line of support, which was sitting at around 1760 to 1770, and we confirmed this daily candle close at closer towards around 1750 approximately. But if we can quickly reclaim this level, which we're already starting to do, but if we see this next daily candle close actually confirm back above around 1770, and ideally confirming back above $18, that would be even better. If that actually happens, then essentially we avoid a further drop towards the downside, at least for now, because we'll be invalidating that break to the downside. And so potentially in a matter of hours from now, with this next daily candle close, once again, we may just simply invalidate that short-term break to the downside here, which obviously is some good news here in the short term, basically telling us that we're still finding support around this area. But if we were to actually continue a further break to the downside, we also have significant support in this golden pocket sitting in between $14.90 to $15.50. And something else to point out on this daily Chainlink chart is a possible bullish divergence forming right now, which is not yet currently confirmed. I want to make that clear. This potential bullish divergence is not confirmed, but it is getting close to potentially confirming, because we have already confirmed lower lows in the price in the candle closes, and right now we are forming higher lows in the daily Chainlink RSI. But this higher low still needs to actually be confirmed in the RSI with at least one, but ideally a couple of candle closes here in the green. And if this bullish divergence actually confirms, that will tell us that we should be expecting a bit of a break or a relief from all of this bearish momentum. So in other words, we'll likely see either a slight bullish relief or just some choppy sideways price action as the most common outcomes from a bullish divergence, if it first confirms. Once again, we're still waiting for confirmation. And as for resistance, I would still expect a lot of resistance in between $19.50 to $20. And once again, if you want to trade any of these moves in the price of any crypto, check out the links below this video to the exchanges that I'm trading on right now. And if you use those links, you can claim some massive bonuses. And if you want to actually know how to trade crypto, no matter if the price is bullish, bearish, or chopping around sideways, you can profit from all of that price action by watching these videos popping up right here on your screen. The video in the top left shows you how you can profit from bullish or bearish price action using long positions or short positions, and the video in the bottom left shows you how you can easily profit from choppy sideways price action. But anyway, that is everything that I have to say for today. I really hope you enjoyed, and I'll see you all in the next video.